Hello from my laundry room early in the morning. You can see how I've organised my gardening tool drawers. You can see how I'm snuggled in a blanket at the most tiny desk that I have acquired from the joys of Facebook Marketplace. Here we are, snuggled in here with the washing machine. And that's about it. This is like a sort of lockdown flashback. That's where I put all of my correspondence I get from the kids' schools. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. That's where I'm sorting out various items, including the washing. My Pilates ball is there. Basically, normally I've been working and coaching from a cabin in my garden. It's a very chic little cabin that my dad made me. And over the last year and a half, we've started to do a lot of home exchange. And I thought, okay, maybe I can let people stay in the cabin. I'm not taking any Airbnb money for it. It's really just, but on home exchange, you get paid in guest points. And then we can spend those guest points elsewhere, having little holidays and breaks away that seem to do our family so much good. We really do feel like when we're away together, we have a family, and I get such a refreshment from a change in environment, from other people's stuff, their choices. It's just delicious to me. So yeah. So here's my coffee. I'm gonna just talk about this for a second because it's just a decaf coffee. Get into buying this cheap Americano decaf from Lidl. But one of the things I'm noticing a lot in my own journey with food and drink at the moment is how I was about to sit down and do it live, and then my brain was like, just make one more hot drink. You just need something to help you do this. And I feel like I'm using food and drink a lot in that way to try and commit to doing something, anything, any task. So for me, it's so much stitched together with lack of focus, difficulty to be productive. Actually, just thought I'd share that because I'm curious to know if that resonates with any of you. I feel like last year I ran a retreat with Henrietta Bowen on eating, body respect, hypnosis and breath work. Oh, that's so bitter. And there was one morning where I was going to ask people to sit together and work in pairs to identify just what it is that they most need to do, their next step. And Henrietta and I sat together on the floor of the room that we'd turned into a oh, I've got a visitor. Hey, sweetie. Good morning. Don't come on if you don't want to be on video, because I'm just doing a little video. Was I noisy? Oh, okay. Can you come back in 2 minutes? Would that be okay? And then I'll finish doing this, and then we'll have a big cuddle. Do you want a blanket? There we go, sweet pea. We'll make a cocoa, yeah? Okay, I love you. So we sat together, Henrietta and I, on the floor of this room, and it was a beautiful room. We turned it into a sort of hypnosis and breathwork slumber party room. Loads of places to lie down and get soft. But she and I had ended up using it also as our staff quarters because I had totally miscalculated the sleeping capacity of this venue because nobody wanted to share a room. And so she and I had ended up sleeping there. So we were sitting there, we were talking together, and we were sitting cross-legged, sort of holding hands, and we both cried a lot as we tried to think about what was needed. And I was frustrated with myself at that moment because I felt like unless I really figure out how to work differently, how to be productive, be with my productive self differently, I can't crack the eating and drinking coffee, drinking many cocos, hot drinks. Because underneath it all is a lack of focus, perfectionism, chronic lifelong trying too hard, and anxiety and striving. Anyway, that's kind of the journey that I'm on, and over the next year I would love to actually try and unravel that. The difficulty is it's very difficult to do that. Is it? I mean, it feels like it is difficult to keep the focus there and on entrepreneurship and money making, because what you think you should do to make money is probably not the kind of allowing yourself to fall apart and rebuilding yourself that's maybe needed there. So that's what I was thinking. And then I encountered Simone Seol at a moment in her career, in her trajectory, where she was doing a lot of work with people about their values and alignment. Now, Simone Seol is a coach from sort of life coach school lineage. So that's where I first heard about her, as a sort of life coach school success, one of Brooke Castillo's successes, when I was being coached in what was called self-coaching scholars, part of the life coach school, and receiving coaching from lots of these different coaches. I'm actually wondering whether I actually may have been coached by Simone once. But I'm so fortunate because there was a moment with Life Coach School when some of the coaches who I was following started to get really, really prosperous, and they were talking with delight about their prosperity, but they weren't talking about their values. And I was feeling a bit like, so this is just capitalism? Like, what are we doing here? We're just trying to get as rich as possible. And that may be feminist in one way, but it's feminist within a paradigm, and it doesn't feel kind of right. I mean, maybe that's me and my value judgment about money and all of that stuff, but also, like, is that really purposeful? Do I really feel motivated towards that? So Simone Seol did a really great training recently called Truth or Dare, and the dares are prompts to really tell the truth to yourself about certain things. And I think that maybe Simone's done. I mean, she's been working, by the sounds of it, with a lot of interesting people. She's introduced me to Sam Garcia and her sort of ecological approach to business. And she's done a lot on inclusion and race and demographic access to these tools and things. And it seems like these people are developing ways of being in touch with their business in a way that is more unconscious, more aligned with a sort of spiritual connection to nature, or maybe natural cycles. Really puts, really reminds you that you're doing this because it's your gift and as a form of community care. And perhaps that's just where I need to focus and let the money be what it is. So this dare is about, asks you, what do I naturally feel generous about sharing and what comes naturally to me? And the idea here was to try to not share what you think people want to hear. Like, oh, people want to hear that I am really good. And this is really interesting for me because there are so many little self-care things that I do in the day, and I don't share them because I don't want to seem smug. And I think, oh no, I don't want to be like, look at me, I'm so healthy. Because, that really rubs me up the wrong way when I see it on LinkedIn and Instagram. And at the same time, often they are really lame little things. I think they're lame. Like mine, this little desk. Like this little desk. I mean, it's a ridiculous little desk. It folds out, folds down to nothing, and it was broken, so I had to fix it with gaffer tape. But it only cost me a tenner. And so, yeah. And yeah, actually, I do feel quite moved to share those things because it feels like taking care of my real life rather than sacrificing it all the time. And I mean the householding of it. I mean, look at my backdrop, like this sifting through objects and trying to get a grip on what we eat as a family and trying not to be in mess and chaos and living on a building site and making enough time to make eye contact with my husband when I speak to him. It feels like all of that's pretty high priority, actually. Not that I'm going to be giving out lots of householding tips. Anyway, I produced this page and I had to draw the things that came naturally to me. And I had to draw them because one of the things that came naturally to me was I like to draw diagrams, and I'm almost in pain when I can see one and I can't draw it. I went to a job interview this week for a part-time job. I'm going to be a peer mentor in community mental health setting, going and visiting with people. And they were asking me about safeguarding. And I could suddenly see like, oh, and the difference between safeguarding and suicide prevention. I was sort of saying, well, safeguarding is a bigger topic. Suicide prevention is preventing harm to self, but you might also safeguard someone if you think they're in harm from someone else, for example, if they're tolerating domestic violence, or if you think they are maybe going to have a detrimental effect on the people that they care for example, their children. And I sort of started drawing it in the air like this, this sort of Venn diagram, and I really wanted to draw it in the middle of this interview, and I didn't. It was sad. So this comes naturally to me. I like to draw diagrams, but I also like to put things into words in ways that land. I like to search for the words for things, sometimes by speaking like this, and I'm so grateful to have this outlet to do that. And sometimes on paper. It doesn't always feel like journaling is alive for me. I feel a lot of reluctance about it, but I'd like to share my drawings, whatever they are, more and more, because every day there's some drawings and lists and things, and they feel very key somehow to a process. So I've added this one on at the end. I feel very inspired by TV and books. I'm always recommending TV and books to people, and I feel such hope when I see something and I read something which has been well put together, or well acted, or really talks about humanity in a way that's new for me. I love that. I'm a lateral thinker. Oh, I've said I'm smart. Yeah, I'm a lateral thinker. I sort of go sideways all the time. Go sideways. It makes it hard to stick to an idea. Actually, I like people. I really do. I love to be with the people. I'm constantly looking at courses, especially live ones, because I want to get in the room with people and meet some people. I just want a container where I get to meet people. I don't really like the small talk part. I like to be together for a reason and accelerate why we're together. I love the ridiculous and absurd. Here I've drawn an image of a person with a toy duck on a string, because I remember when Chris and I we had 2 children. The youngest was still in a sling, and we went to a little festival in Germany. We stayed in a motorhome, like a sort of, what are they called? Like a sort of giant American style motorhome, which we rented off Airbnb. We didn't drive it there, it was just nearby. We could ride a bicycle to the festival. And we went to the festival, and there was this guy walking around dragging this toy duck, like maybe one of the ones like a plastic one you would have put in, but realistic, you would have put it in as a garden ornament, on a string with him. And I thought, for no reason. And I was reminded how much I love to do things for no reason, just because it's fun and funny and absurd. And I love that. There's a clown in me. I want to go to clown school. I love to share food. I love it when others appreciate food. When the kids have a play date. Last night, the kids had a play date, and they asked to make homemade pizza. And I made the dough, and I got them all making the squidging out. And the vibes in the kitchen were phenomenal. They were rocking it. And these were kids, actually, who I haven't seen really excited or enthusiastic. They tend to be quite shy, and they were just all there. And my daughter had a little chef's hat on. It was so cute and fun and gregarious. I love nature. This is my last one here. 2 trees and a hammock. I love nature, and I love my garden. So these are things I should definitely share from. And I feel like there's something there about body too. Like, I do really appreciate having this body. I'm shy about sharing it because it feels so limited, very stiff, never very flexible, not as, not as lean and mean and personal trainerish as my mind says it should be. We all have that body image critic, right? But I would like to share my journey with my body more. So that's what comes naturally to me, and I feel naturally moved to share these wonky details of my life because I think in the seeing somebody coaching themselves and trying to navigate all of life's humanity and imperfections and try to create some sort of healthy relationship with emotions and body through that could be permissive, could be reassuring, could let you know that we're all a bit of a messy miracle.